You haven't been forgetting to take your medicine, have you? I'm catching a little murmur. You should take it easy for a few days. The nurse's words hurt me far more than the exhaustion of the morning run ever could. Take it easy for a few days. I knew I should have kept quiet. I kept my eyes on the floor, feeling like a complete idiot. Of course I hadn't been remembering to take my medicine. I've been rushing out of my room to get a track before Emmy. After the track meet a few days ago, I felt inspired. So I've been running warm-up laps in the morning before Emmy shows up. But then today, when she and I were running, I felt a little pain in my chest. It was only slight, and it was only for a second, so I mentioned it to the nurse. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. I mean, I kept running and finished just fine, so it really couldn't have been that bad. Why do I feel like I'm making excuses to the nurse? Or so over, why do I feel a need to justify continuing to run despite the pain? Really, it comes down to me being unwilling to concern Emmy, who seems concerned anyway. I'm not sure how she was able to tell that there was anything wrong, but she claims I stumbled a little. She's the one who insisted I tell the nurse, so now I feel bad for worrying her at all. The nurse is shaking his head ruefully while Emmy paces outside the room. So, I know it's difficult for you to get into a new routine, but if you don't want to find yourself in a lot of trouble, you're gonna have to try harder. You can't afford to forget your pills, and you can't push yourself too hard. But if I don't push myself, how will I improve? I don't know where that came from. The nurse seems to have an idea. Now, where have I heard that before? He laughs and pats me on the shoulder. Haha, she's rubbing off on ya, I guess. His expression changes again, and he's back in serious mode. Look, I'm not saying you shouldn't push yourself, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be taking your medication. And it doesn't mean you shouldn't stop if your chest starts to bother you. I prefer not to have any fatalities while I'm on staff here. A bit of a lofty goal to be sure, but I'm always up for a challenge. I hate to admit it, but I think he's right. Gotta remember to take my medication. You're right. I'm sorry to worry you. Who's worried? You're a smart kid, right? I know you can be responsible, Hisao. A situation like yours, you gotta learn to be responsible fast. I know. His expression suddenly becomes devious. I suppose you started to enjoy your runs with Emmy then, eh? Yeah, they've been really helping me. I mean, until today, I was feeling a lot more healthy. Plus, it's really impressive to see Emmy run. Did you see her at the track meet? She was incredible. The nurse nods, grinning all the while. And she was, Hisao. I watched her first couple of races before I had some business to take care of, but she told me all about it. Kind of you to loan her your jacket, by the way. Huh? Oh, yeah, it wasn't that big of a deal. I'd honestly forgotten all about that. I still haven't gotten it back. The nurse gets a smile that makes me feel like he's just made a joke. Not to you, but Emmy certainly appreciated it. And I know she appreciates you running with her in the mornings. This one catches me off guard a little. Sure, she mentioned that it's easy to keep a schedule with an extra person, but I didn't think I was doing her a favor at all. I thought she was doing me the favor of helping me follow the doctor's orders. She tries harder when you're around. If there's someone else running with her, she's gonna push herself more. And she tries even harder when you're around because, well, it's you. What the heck does that mean? Oh, you'd love to know, wouldn't you? Kind of. He laughs in the style of evil megalomaniacs. No, seriously, it's because you're her friend. If Rin ran with her, I'm sure she'd do the same. Probably. But that's not the point. The point is, you're helping her, even if you don't know you are. And she's grateful for that, even if she never says it. What do you mean, even if she never says it? And he doesn't talk a lot, but she and I have known each other long enough that I can read her most of the time. I'll admit it, I have no idea what he's talking about. And he seems pretty talkative to me. I see. The nurse suddenly realizes that he's been rambling and stops talking, looking a little embarrassed. Anyway, you don't have to stop your morning exercise. Just walk the track instead of running for a few days. Let things calm down. And take your damned medicine! Nyah! I laugh as I exit the office, bumping straight into Emmy. We have got to stop meeting this way. Whoops, sorry about that. Are you okay? What did the nurse say? Do you need to go to a hospital? Oh my gosh, it was my fault, wasn't it? I've been pushing you too hard, haven't I? I'm a horrible person. The words pour forth like a torrent. She's really agitated. I didn't expect her to be this concerned about me, to be honest. Gotta calm her down, but how the hell do I do that? I do the only thing I can think of. I give her a hug. That's cute! Oh, that music! Emmy tenses up slightly, so I pat her head in what I hope is a reassuring manner. Hey, settle down. I'm fine, okay? No worries. I can feel Emmy's body relax as I continue to assure her I'm fine. Her arms wrap around me as if she's trying to confirm that I'm not about to fall over dead. Okay, here we go. Just read it. I catch a whiff of her hair. It smells like sweat, or how adrenaline should smell. It's the scent of activity. And a hint of strawberries. From her shampoo, I suspect. I just need to remember to take my medicine, that's all. Don't worry about it, it's not your fault. You sure? Her voice is muffled, mostly because at the moment her face is pressed into my chest. Yeah, I'm sure. I just need to take it a little easy for the next few days. It suddenly occurs to me how close the two of us are. Yeah, you're literally as close as two human beings can physically be. Okay, well, that's not entirely true, but you're close. It also occurs to me how nice being this close feels. I can feel Emmy's heartbeat calming down, and I have to resist the urge to rest my chin on the top of her head. Thank goodness. You really had me worried there, Hisao. Emmy, you're gonna come in here anytime soon? Oh, I'm sorry, was I interrupting? The two of us spring apart as if the other just caught on fire. Emmy brushes her hair back nervously and laughs. Of course not! I'll, see you later, okay? Finger guns. Oh, and Hisao? Yeah, take your damn medicine! That last phrase is punctuated by a punch to the shoulder. Yeah, I'll remember. See you later. The nurse smiles again like he's in on some joke I don't know about and waves to me as I head for my room, feeling a burning in my cheeks. He likes her. To be fair, I like her too. She's cute. I need a shower. A cold one if the thoughts running through my head are any indication. She was really soft. My pills are waiting for me when I make it to my room. I swallow them without a second thought. I don't know why I didn't think of waiting until after the runs to take them. For some reason, I figured it was when I woke up or not at all. But no, they only need to be taken every 24 hours. The exact time of day doesn't factor into it. My thoughts drift back to the hug in the hallway, making him think various thoughts. It's weird. You'd expect someone to smell foul after a run, but for some reason, Emmy smelled right. The tinge of sweat just seemed to fit her. I think it's just because you're that into her, dude. I really need that shower. Yeah. Get your mind off things. Get your mind off things. I know I'm actively attempting to do literally just that right now, too. Strange that it feels so natural for me to go up to the roof these days. I never would have done such a thing at my old school. In those days, I'd like to eat alone. No, that's not quite true. Though I like to sit alone, and I also like to watch people. I always figured this was the sort of person I was. It appears I was wrong. Go figure. Then again, I also thought I was the sort of person who had a normal heart, so there you have it. Oof. I don't know myself that well. Now I'm on the roof so that I can have lunch with a couple of people. And they are both girls, which is even stranger. Oddly enough, I feel closer to Emmy and Rin than I felt to anyone at my old school. Yeah, prolonged exposure and a hanging altitude with literally anybody with a, the ability of conscious thought tends to do that. So I might get the feeling they'd at least visit me if I wound up in the hospital. Okay, well, when you say that and the prior experience, okay, yeah. Yeah. I focus on the view from the roof, banishing such thoughts from my head. There's a light breeze blowing and the sun is shining high in the sky. The sky itself is a deep blue with hardly a cloud in it. It's gotten pleasantly warm, and as I sit down to wait for my friends, I close my eyes and enjoy the feeling of the sun sleeping into my skin. I imagine that says seeping and not sleeping, but hey, what are you gonna do? Voices intrude upon the edge of hearing. Seems to have fallen asleep on us, Rin. Maybe he's faking to lull us into a false sense of security. Well, why would he do that? No idea. Still, you make a good point. We should kick him or something to make sure he's really asleep. Huh? What? Ah! Besieged upon by cute girls again! Emmy loons over me like a short girl can, peering at me intently, like, oh, that's actually kind of funny. Like only a short girl can. Oh, you're awake. I guess I don't have to kick you then. Was it part of your master plan? What are you talking about? Emmy shrugs, her twin tails bouncing with the motion. I'm not sure either. Must be pretty tired to fall asleep out here. Although it's pretty comfortable, I suppose. Bet. She plops down next to me and begins to eat. Ren sits opposite from the two of us, a move which only makes me more aware of the girl sitting next to me. If I didn't know any better, I'd swear Rin did it on purpose. But quite frankly, I'm not sure she ever does anything on purpose. I concentrate on my food, trying to tune out the majority of the conversation that Rin and Emmy are having. Despite my best efforts, however, I still find myself glancing over at Emmy whenever she speaks. I notice how she purses her lips when she's thinking about something, squinting slightly as if that would improve her thinking ability. Rin says something that makes Emmy laugh, and I notice perhaps for the first time how she laughs with her whole body, rocking back and forth, head thrown back almost like she's about to fall over. I probably look like a creep. It's about this time that I realize Emmy's looking at me, her voice raised slightly, so she's probably just asked me a question. Sorry, I kind of zoned out for a moment there. Emmy rolls her eyes with a slight quirk of her eyebrow, is the only sign that Rin's even paying attention. They said you get a career survey. Oh, Did you get a career survey in your class too? You know, one of those what do you want to do after high school things? I don't think so. Maybe we'll get one tomorrow. What are you gonna put down? That's a really good question. I guess I always figured I'd go to college after high school, but I have no idea what I'd do once I got there. And with the heart attack and all, I'd really been concentrating on each day as it came rather than making long-term plans. I suppose I can safely start planning ahead again. I've always liked having at least a vague plan for my future, so it'll be nice to come up with one again. Of course, that doesn't change the fact right now that I've got absolutely no clue. I was kind of assumed I'd figure it out in college. That or just become a salaryman. That's pretty popular. But do I really want to? That's a tough question. Last I checked, I don't really feel like a lot of people choose to be a salaryman. I guess I don't really want to do anything. You don't sound very excited about that one, do you? She laughs as she says this, and I'm caught up in her laugh again. It's so girlish, high and giggly, like a, well, pardon the cliche, like a babbling brook. It bubbles out of her, starting in her belly and working its way up to her throat. Man, you got it for her bad. I can't help but laugh myself. It's infectious. Yeah, I guess I'm pretty unhappy with the salaryman idea. But to be honest, I haven't given much thought to the future recently. I suppose that these days I've been more concerned with living one day at a time. Emmy considers this for a moment and grins. That's a pretty good idea, Sal. I just wrote down pirate. I'm momentarily stunned, then I start laughing. I stop myself and manage to gasp out a question. You're not actually serious, are you? Emmy looks mock offended. Well, I've got the legs for it already, so I just kind of figured. Even Rin seems amused by this. Just you wait. I'll be the terror of the high seas. I'll show you all. I've even been working on my pirate voice. She suddenly springs up and begins swaggering up and down the rooftop, shouting orders. Yar, me hearties! Give 'em a broadside with the long guns. We'll wear the guts for garters. Do you even know what that means? Rin's unexpected interruption stops Emmy in her tracks. Not really. But it's all in the delivery. As long as you sound convincing, everyone is gonna believe you. Confidence, it gets you farther than you'd think. The ringing of the bell prevents her from demonstrating her point further. Emmy dashes out immediately, leaving Rin and myself alone on the roof. Rin stares at me intently for a few moments. Is there something wrong? Rin considers this question closely for a moment. After a lengthy pause, she shakes her head. Nope. Oh, why the staring then? Rin shakes her head again. Nope. I don't get it. Get what? The staring thing. You two seem to, but I don't. Great, she saw me staring. Now she probably thinks I'm a pervert or something. Would she be wrong? I wonder. On top of that, I don't think that she does. I don't know if that's something Rin can quantify in her brainscape. Actually, probably not. This is Rin we're talking about after all. Still, I feel the need to defend myself. I wasn't staring. I was just tired. Rin actually snorts at this, but doesn't say anything. No, really, I was just distracted is all. Eager to end this conversation, I head back down to class. Oh, hey, I remember you two. I'm greeted by the twin specters of Shizune and Misha, looking like they mean business. Well, Shizune looks like she means business anyway. Misha just looks like she's just about to start laughing at any minute. Up on the roof again, Hichan? You know that's dangerous, don't you? That's right. The school can't be held responsible for any injury that comes from being up there, you know. What kind of injury comes from being on the roof? There's like a chain link fence around everything so you can't even fall off. Furthermore, we could report you for breaking the rules. Misha leans in and whispers conspiratorially. But we won't, Hichan. You three are too cute together. Ha! She straightens up again, laughing at my sudden blush. Aw, that's actually adorable. And even she's smiling. Oh, that's just nice. Wahaha! You're too easy to tease, Hichan. Hey, come on. I'm still new here, sort of. Isn't it mean to pick on a newcomer like this? Nope. It's to help you get acclimated to your new surroundings. Ah, I see. Well, you do have to be overzealous about it. Yep. That aside, Hichan, we were looking for you this morning, but you weren't in your room. Of course I wasn't. I was out for my morning exercise, or here in class bright and early, unlike you. Shizune looks peeved, and a beat later, so does Pisha, or she tries to at any rate. That was because of student council business. You should be grateful that we worked so hard for you. Oh, I am. So what did you need me for? Another attempt to rope me into their dirty work, I hope. We had to give you something, but since you weren't around, we dropped it off in your room. Something? Like what? Well, you'll find out when you get back, Hichan. Wahaha! Muto enters the room, ending our conversation, and we all head to our seats. It's It's only after I've settled down at my desk and the teacher started talking about something or another that something odd strikes me. What did Rin mean? You two seem to. Was Emmy staring at something too? For a brief moment, I considered the possibility that Emmy was staring at me the way I was staring at her. Of course, that's ridiculous. Still, I can't deny that I wouldn't mind if it were true. But it's best not to think about that. No need to get my hopes up. Come to think of it, when did I start having hopes like that anyway? I shake my head in an attempt to clear it and focus on the lesson. Yeah, what are the odds of it? Pretty slim, I imagine. After class, I make my way to my room. Mudo had really piled on the homework today. Oh, dear God, he's still here. Before I can open... You know, Lily and Hanako seem to have vanished from the plot entirely. Kinda would prefer if they were still around and you weren't. Suddenly intercepted by Kenji, who has just exploded out of his room in a flurry of papers. Hey, we need to talk. These rooftop shenanigans of yours, man. They've got to stop. Really? What? You're running around on the rooftop with the limbless wonders. Okay, well, first of all, rude. They're women, man. You'll get yourself killed running around like that. I find this an acceptable risk. They're cool. I don't follow. Kenji sighs and adjusts his glasses before what could be understood as an attempt at explaining himself patiently. Look, we're friends, so I'm telling you this for your own good. But if I were going to kill someone, I'd do it by throwing them off the roof and making it look like an accident. Noted. And if I thought of it, you can be sure they've thought of it too. They're crafty. Almost as crafty as I am. I see. Good. I'm glad we had this chat. Loan me 500 yen. I'm sorry? I need to get a drink, man. I've been inside all day and the tap water's been compromised, as I'm sure you know. So I need to stock up on something canned, got it? But to do that, I need 500 yen. And since I just saved your life with my timely advice, you can at least spare me 500 yen. You know, if it'll make him go away, 500 yen is a bargain. I hand the money over to Kenji, who nods and thanks and dashes off down the hallway, but not before he locks his door. I'm an exhausting person. I better go in case he changes his mind. As I close the door, my heel taps against something lying on the floor. It's a brightly colored rectangle of paper! Ah, this must be something Misha mentioned before. Probably a student council leaflet she slid under the door. However, when I pick it up, I find that I couldn't have been more wrong. Someone actually wrote me an old-fashioned handwritten paper letter. Who bothers doing something like that in this day and age, anyway? As unlikely as the prospect of receiving one sounds, that is definitely a letter I have in my hands. I was planning on finishing my homework, getting some dinner, and going to bed in order to be ready for tomorrow's morning run. However, the letter has naturally caught my interest. I sit at my desk to examine it properly. There we go. It's the first piece of mail I've received here at Yamaku. So it'd feel special even if it wasn't something as rare as a handwritten letter. What causes me even more trepidation is the name of the sender written neatly on the back of the envelope. Iwanako. I have no idea why she would write to me. I haven't been in contact with anyone from my old school since I transferred. God! And Iwanako is the last person I'd expect want to write me a letter. Last time I saw Iwanako was terribly awkward, embarrassingly so. She came to my hospital room, peeled me an apple out of courtesy, and then we practically sat in silence for half an hour. She said goodbye and didn't look me in the eye when she closed the door. Might have been a natural end to this series of visits. They were probably pretty painful for both of us. Every time she visited me in the hospital, I wanted to talk to her, but something stopped me every time. Every time that I didn't speak made the next time even harder. She looked so guilty that I didn't want to say anything that might upset her, and I never could figure out the right words to say. I think Iwanako blamed herself for my heart attack. That's ridiculous, of course, but knowing it and believing it are two different things. I told her that it wasn't her fault. She nodded, and I really think she understood that if it hadn't been that, then sooner or later something else would have made my heart give out. Yet she looked so hopelessly sad every time she opened the door and entered my room. So I never managed to say the things I wanted to say. In the end, that might have hurt her even more. Carefully, I open the envelope and draw out the folded letter from within. Oh boy, here we go. Dear Sao, how are you? Hope you're well and happy at your new school. Everyone here misses you. Almost all of our second-year class got put together in Class 3-1 for the final year, so we were pretty comfortable right from the beginning of the year. I'm sure you would have been assigned to this class as well. The mood among the third years seems to be very anxious about the final exams, even though they are so far away. The teachers are badgering us about it all the time. Even old Mr. Tachibana, who is, by the way, our homeroom teacher this year. Would you believe it? I was sure that he'd retire after our second year, but here he is, nagging everyone about studying for exams. I think things like this are the main reason why the mood among the third years is so nervous. must admit that I'm somehow losing confidence in myself as well, even though I've always fared reasonably well in exams. It's so weird to think we're already seniors, isn't it? Time has really flown past. I wonder where it went. The new first years seem so young and somehow really innocent. I keep wondering if I was like them in my first year. I've been feeling nostalgic like this for the whole first trimester. There are things I want to say. I'm writing to you because I felt that there are things I should have said after the incident back in winter. I really regret that I wasn't able to say them in person, and I have no excuse for it. Yeah, I think I've had quite enough of this. I crumple up the sheet of paper and toss it across the room. My aim is off, so the letter rolls under my nightstand instead of going into my wastebasket. That was an apology for abandoning me, except I don't know that I really need it anymore at this point. The hospital seems like a lifetime ago, and here, now I've got other things on my mind. Emmy, for starters. It wasn't great to be abandoned during my stay, but it's not something I'm worried about anymore. In fact, I haven't even thought about the hospital in feels like forever until this letter came in. It's almost annoying to have received it. I've got exams to study for myself. I have no time for the past. How about that homework? Well, I feel like you probably should have at least courteously read the thing. Not sure how I feel about that exact reaction, but at the same time, I get it. So what's the plan for today anyway? I'm waiting patiently in the hallway of the girls' dormitory just outside of Emmy and Rin's rooms. Emmy is apparently helping Rin with getting dressed. I suppose that makes perfect sense, as I've no idea how Rin would get dressed otherwise. Picnic! Picnic? That's what I said! Sounds pretty exciting. I know, right? Rin chooses this moment to make an observation. The sky seems threatening today. Actually, I noticed that too on my way over. Despite the sunshine of the early morning, the afternoon seems to have taken a turn for the gloomy. There's a heaviness to the air as well as that usually heralds a rainstorm. Wonder if I should have brought an umbrella. She's got a point. Emmy, you sure you still want to go risk of getting caught in the rain? I've heard a bad song, it wasn't a bad song, but I've heard a song about a bad experience somebody had in the rain. Turns out they left their cake out there. Not a great experience for anybody. I don't even know why I bothered asking. Emmy pops out of Rin's room into the hallway looking shocked that I'd even suggest canceling our plans. Of course. What, the threat of rain's supposed to stop me? I can't help but grin at her belligerent response. It's almost like she's daring the rain to come. If Mother Nature were walking down the street, I think Emmy would probably start a fight with her. Badass, honestly. Or at least challenge her to a race. In fact, Emmy seems aggressively cheerful today. Rin wanders out into the hallway looking her usual self. Well then, are we all ready to go? I'm ready. Rin nods and says a single word. Basket. Beg pardon? The basket in Emmy's room. You should carry it. Emmy claps a hand to her mouth, embarrassed. Oh my gosh, forgot all about it. Nice save, Rin. Emmy darts into her room and emerges with what looks like a very well-stocked picnic basket. As she hands it over to me, I note that it feels heavy enough to be one, two. Good lord, how much food did she pack? More to the point, where did she get the money for all this? So, are we set to head out? Yep-o. Rin gives another nod and we head out to the dormitory. I can't help but frown when I notice how gray the sky's gotten in 10 minutes I was inside. Still, Emmy doesn't seem concerned by such petty concerns as the color of the sky. She's positively skipping as we walk. Which reminds me, where are we going? This brings Emmy up short and she shoots me an embarrassed look. You know, I hadn't really thought of that. What do you think, Hasao? Well, there's the spot we ate during the festival, but it might be nice to leave the campus for a while. Or I'm not sure if there's any good place to do that in town. Just as I open my mouth, Rin unexpectedly interjects with a suggestion. There's a park in town near the art shop. Great idea, Rin. Totally forgot all about that place. Crisis averted. Do you know how to get there, Rin? Rin shrugs. It's pretty likely. Good enough for me. I'd prefer knowing for sure, but what the hell. Light on, Rin. And then we followed her. It was a great expedition. You could write books about it. The three of us quickly make our way off campus and take the road down into town. This basket's a bit heavy. I hope that the park is close by. We pass the art supply store, Rin slowing her pace slightly as we go by. Emmy notices Rin's change of pace and stops. You want to go in, Rin? Rin shrugs. Nothing I need. You have any idea how often I almost call her Ren? Are you sure? Stimpy. There's the slightest flutter of a smile on Rin's face, quickly replaced with her usual expression. Life's uncertain, but on this, at least, I'm pretty sure. Nice of you to offer. Well, it's not like I'm the only one carrying the basket. But I'll bet Hasao wouldn't have minded anyway, right? Oh, of course not. This is hardly a heavy load. I flex for emphasis. I ripped my pants in the proceedings. Everyone laughs at me, but it made for a good story. Emmy stifles a snort of laughter by pointing to the park at which we suddenly arrived. Oh, I remember this place. I ran into here that one time, didn't I, Rin? Rin's eyebrow raises slightly. Maybe. I'm unwilling to say for certain one way or the other. Memory's a tricky thing, you know. I'll be a bee. We made it in one piece after all. The sun's still nowhere to be seen, but neither Emmy nor Rin seem to mind. Aw, this is cute. We find a spot to sit on the grass, and I set the basket down gratefully. Oh my god, I just realized she's got like big old long stripy socks. Cute. There's a surprising amount of food prepared. Maybe we're supposed to be joined by some of Emmy's teammates or something. I'm starving. Dig in. I see a bag that just says chips on it. Gimme. She attacks the food as if she had nothing to eat for years. There's the rain. I'm just reaching for the food myself when I feel the first drop of rain land on the back of my hand. Uh-oh. Looks like the weather's not going to cooperate with us after all. Emmy glares at the sky as if that alone will hold back the rain. I very nearly believe she could do it. It's a heck of a glare. It had better cooperate. You hear me, Sky? You stop that rain right this instant. The sky doesn't seem inclined to listen to her, despite the commanding tone she's taken with it. Instead, the rain seems to increase. Rin wrinkles her nose in distaste at the turn of events. Regrettable. What do you mean? Rin shrugs. I could paint this if I weren't out here. Shame to miss it all. Doesn't seem angry or annoyed about it. Just a little disappointed. Emmy laughs in response to Rin's comment. Guess we should have stopped in the art supply store after all, huh? The rain increases a little more, offended that we haven't fled yet. Damn rain gods! Despite the warm temperatures we've been enjoying, the rain is rather cold. Wish I'd brought an umbrella. We should probably head inside to keep dry. We're already pretty wet, Hisao. Yeah, but we can dry off this way and maybe wait out the storm. You don't want to catch a cold or anything, do you? Emmy considers this for a moment. I can tell that part of her wants to stay out in the rain just to spite the weather. Unfortunately for her, the weather hardly cares about what we do. As far as you know. I suppose you're right. Where could we go? I don't have an answer for her. The area's still pretty new to me. I guess I'm slowly getting used to the school itself. The surrounding town remains a mystery, as things tend to be. All I know is that the art supply store, and that's only just because we just passed it. Fortunately, Emmy soon snaps her fingers in triumph. That's it. There's a tea shop nearby. We can have some tea and dry out, no problem. That doesn't sound like a bad idea. Great. You know where it is? Emmy nods, looking fairly confident. Sure do. I think. But it'll be an adventure either way, right? Adventure, huh? Well, I suppose we could use a little adventure. I think as long as we get out of the rain, I'll be happy. The picnic basket is a little lighter now, at least. Lead on. Rin and I follow Emmy as she weaves through the streets with something approaching confidence. Now, left here. There! The Shanghai! Emmy beats triumphantly as she points to the tea shop. Seems fairly crowded inside. A symptom of the sudden rain, I'm sure. Ting ting! What? Okay, hi, Yuko. Welcome. I'm surprised to find that our waitress is none other than Yuko. She sure looks the part in her uniform. Hard to believe this is the same librarian from our school. Does she work 2 jobs? Guess that must be it. Oh, it's you. Yuko seems to know Emmy. Emmy grins brightly, pleased to be remembered. Hey, Yuko. Hey, Yuko. I didn't know you worked here, too. Do I know you? You seem awfully familiar, but I don't think I've seen you here. Oh, God, does she have an identical sister? We met at your other job at the Yamuku Library, remember? Her eyes widen in memory. Yeah, that's... Oh, wow, she just completely forgot. How long has it been since I've been there? Yeah, that's it. Nice to see you again. Oh, no, this is bad. I should have remembered a customer's face. I'm sorry, I'm terribly sorry. Yuko goes from realization to panic in a split second. Performing a series of high-speed bows, I narrowly avoid getting headbutted in the process. Whoa, hey, calm down. Listen, I wasn't a customer when we first met. In fact, I hadn't even been to the Shanghai, so it's all right. Not the best display of logic, but it seems to relax her a little. Do you really think so? Yeah, I'm sure. Positive. Isn't that right, girls? Emmy has been watching this little drama unfold with considerable amusement. Yep, sure is. Well, okay. So, Yuko, got room to seat us? Yuko nods and leads us to a corner booth, providing us with some small towels before taking our order. Nice corner booth! What will you have? Cake! And some tea too, I guess. What kind of cake? Surprise me! Yuko looks uncomfortable at the thought of surprising anyone, but She gives a nod and turns to Rin. And for you? I'll take a straw. My feet are all wet. Sorry? The drinking kind of straw. One, please. Yuko is obviously uncertain of what to think about this. She fiddles with her pen and stationery for a moment, looking like she's about to cry before turning in my direction. She is a ball of anxiety and nerves. And you, sir? Just tea, I think. Emmy would probably yell at me if I ordered cake. Oh, come on, Nasal. Don't let me be the only one with food. I'll feel like a pig. Just trying to eat healthy. Your orders, after all. Well, today is your day off. You can be healthy tomorrow. Well, then I suppose I will have some cake after all. Yuko seems slightly irritated that I'm changing my mind. What kind? I glance at Emmy and grin. Surprise me. Yuko sighs and nods. Very well. Your order will be out soon. I would never say that. There are so many different types of cake I would not want to eat. Ugh. Despite the crowd, our order does indeed arrive quickly. Thanks, Yuko. Yuko nods in appreciation. You know, I've never actually bothered to look up what that... I don't know if you could call it a hat. Hair accessory? I associate it with Chun-Li, although obviously I know many other things wear them. People, I mean, not things. Anyway, you get my point. I don't know. The point is, I don't know what those are called. This is a different guy than usual, isn't it? What? Different guy? Emmy must notice my confusion because she seems a little embarrassed. What? Oh, yeah, I guess he is. This is my friend Hisao. We've met. Huh, small world. Well, let me know if you need anything. Well, that's certainly an interesting thing to have come up. Is jealousy afoot and abound? With that, Yuko takes off like a shot to wait on some other tables, leaving me to ponder her comment. Different guy, huh? I guess it makes sense, right? Emmy's pretty popular, or so I've been told. Probably that kind of from that kid from the track team. This is stupid. I can just ask Emmy. So this other guy, huh? You got a secret lover or something? Emmy laughs again, only I get the feeling that it's from nervousness as much as anything else. It's just the track team captain. He likes to come down here after practice sometimes. So if we have anything to discuss, I tag along. Sounds mighty suspicious to me. Oh, I see. I couldn't let the matter drop. Or I could, but I just can't resist at least getting another dig in. So it is a secret lover. I knew it. Rin watches our play, seemingly mildly amused before muttering something that I don't quite catch. Anyway. What? Huh? Rin jerks back from wherever her mind wandered off to. Eh? What did you just say? Huh? No, before that. No idea. Oh, well, okay. I'm not sure what that actually could have meant. Just had to check. I let the matter drop, but I can't help notice that Emmy seems relieved that Rin interrupted the conversation. Maybe I went a little too far. Conversation dies for a moment as Emmy and I busy ourselves with cake. Mine is strawberry. Surprisingly good. Well, okay. Emmy seems to think so too, as she suddenly reaches over the fork and steals a bit. Thief! Scoundrel! Street rat! Pirate! There's a difference. We're not on water. Well, no, but there's a lot of water outside, so it still works. Besides, you can have some of mine. I think it's cranberry or something. I should have asked for the strawberry. I like strawberries. Feel free to help yourself to mine if you really must. For some reason, I feel compelled to add, seeing as how you've already done it once and all. Emmy sticks her tongue out at me, but that doesn't stop her from appropriating my cake. I try some of hers as well. It's raspberry. That's pretty good. Also, today I learned that Emmy doesn't know the difference between a raspberry and a cranberry. The rain slid up. Also, I don't know if cranberries can even go in cake. I guess a berry is a berry. It would appear that Rin is correct. Good timing, too. I finished my food and it looks like Emmy has as well. Well, we'd better pay and get a move on before it starts raining again. It takes a few minutes to get Yuko's attention, but we pay and get out pretty quickly. So, you want to return to the park? My jaw nearly drops. Are you kidding? It's probably gonna rain again. In fact, I think I just felt some raindrops. You may be right. Well, okay. I'll let you off the hook this time. But you owe me a picnic now, got it? I don't know if she's addressing me, Ren, or the both of us. Fine. Now hurry up. I want to get some laps in at the track, and it would be nice to do it without the rain. I thought this was your day off. Well, Emmy suddenly seems reluctant to explain herself. I need the practice. And I need to burn off that cake anyway. I don't get the feeling that she's leaving something out. Are you sure? Wasn't that much cake. No, it wasn't that much cake for you. I ate most of it. Does have a point there. Still, I feel as if I should at least offer to run with her. I mean, I don't see why not. My mouse wasn't working. That was a little weird. I mean, I'll run with you? I might as well, right? Emmy shakes her head empathetically. No, you won't, Hisao. Rest is critical for you, remember? I won't allow you to push yourself too hard. Guess she's better at getting advice than taking it. Whatever you say, Emmy. Hey, at least I offered. I think it's probably best not to press the issue. And thus the rain comes again. Like on your wedding day. As we approach the girls' dormitory, it starts to rain again. Emmy's expression sours slightly. Aw, man. Stupid rain. Hey, it'll let up soon enough. You can go running then, right? Emmy snorts, seemingly amused. Like I'm not going to run in the rain. Well, you shouldn't. You'll catch a cold. Emmy waves her hand airily. Ridiculous. I don't get colds. Thus begins the episode where I have to take care of her because she has a cold. My immune system is far too strong for something like that. Also, I'm pretty sure that's not actually a thing. I don't think being out in rain for any period of time will ever make you more susceptible to catching anything. I can't help but laugh. Well, I'll see you tomorrow then, okay? Yeah! Thanks for coming. Oh, and for carrying the picnic basket. I'll bring it for lunch tomorrow. We can have our picnic on the roof. Sounds good to me. See you then. Emmy grabs the basket for me and shoots through the door. Rin gives me a sort of half nod and ambles inside as well. Damn, it's wet out here. I need to get back to my room and to some dry clothes. God, here we go again. I'm soon in front of my door, but I am intercepted by the sudden appearance of Kenji, who appears to be carrying a stack of books. Hey man, give me a hand, would you? The books are unceremoniously dumped into my arms as Kenji fumbles with his room key. Thanks, you're a lifesaver. If you weren't around, I'd have to keep my door unlocked, and that's just begging for trouble. The perfect opportunity to set up a ambush, or maybe just plant a bomb if they don't want to get their hands too dirty. Probably don't. Afraid they'll break a nail or something if they have to stab me. You are a very deeply unsettled individual. Women. My mind thinks about digesting the verbal torrent that's just been unleashed, but elects to remain comfortably in the dark. Anyway, where have you been, man? I could have been used some help carrying these books back from the library. I knocked on your door, but you weren't there. Oh, sorry. Not really. You appear to think I'm some kind of pack mule. I was out with Emmy and Ren. I don't know why you would openly admit to that, considering every time you have in the past, he's had a weapons-grade freak-out over it. There it is. Kenji staggers back in shock. Looks like I just shot his dog. If he had a dog. The limbless ladies again? Could you stop calling them that? They have limbs. What'd you do this time? Well, we wound up at the Shanghai. I am prevented from continuing by a sudden exclamation of despair. Also, I just realized. Emmy said pirate. Shanghai. Heh. The Shanghai! Why the Shanghai? No, man. You can't just go to the damn Shanghai. It's the most dangerous place in the city. A veritable stronghold of their best agents. I know. I've met them. They'll stop at nothing to lull you into a false sense of security and then BAM! Knife to the ribs. He hits his door for emphasis. Wallet's gone. Bus pass? Gone. Identity? It's gone, man. Promise me you won't go there again. You seem so vehemently opposed to the idea of the Shanghai that I'm willing to lie a little in order to get to my room. Sure, I won't go there again. Or at least I won't ever tell you I've gone there again. This seems to mollify my bespectacled companion. Seriously, it's like if Harry Potter was all kinds of messed in the head. Good. Sorry to come on so strong, but I know the danger there too well to let you just wander into the lion's den again. You gotta get out of there alive once, but twice is pushing it. Yeah, well, I need to get changed and do some homework, so I'll see you later. Oh, sure, whatever. I suddenly remember that I'm still holding his books. You'd better take these. I catch a glimpse of one of the titles. Something about cryptography. What a weirdo. Kenji grabs his precious cargo from me and disappears through his doorway. I open my own door and walk in, grateful to be out of my soaking wet clothes. The rain outside picks up, and I find myself hoping that Emmy's not out running in this weather. She seems so adamant about doing the run alone. I can't help but wonder if her leg's still bothering her. I try to remember whether or not I've seen her limping at all today, but I can't. Guess I was too caught up enjoying the day, even if it did rain on us. And as I think back on the events of today, I keep finding myself focusing on my running partner. Her complete refusal to allow the rain to spoil her plans was incredibly cute. There was something else there, too. Sort of an unflappable attitude where it comes to enjoying the day as it comes. I really like that quality. Maybe I do need to do a little of that myself. Dude's got a Mammothodian crush. And I totally get it. I'm starting to feel it a lot more, too. Dang, she is cute, though. The beeping is beeping a beepitude. So much beep. The sound of my alarm brings me out of a dream involving pirates and some other stuff I can't really remember. Wow, now he's even dreaming about her. Probably. I'm a little bleary-eyed, and it feels like it takes me longer than usual to get dressed and down to the track. The somberish music implies to me that she's definitely gotten sick. A glance at my watch reveals that I was right, and I am in fact running a little late. The thing is, there's no Emmy. That's odd, she should be here. She definitely should be here. I mean, I was late. Guess I wasn't the only one who had trouble getting up this morning. Though that crosses my mind that it never quite stopped raining yesterday. Did she go running anyway? Seemed likely. Emmy's a lot of things, but cautious isn't one of them. She probably figured the rain wouldn't stop, and that's why she's so adamant about running alone. Still, I would have gladly ran with her, even if it was in the rain. Heck, if anything, I would have been able to convince her to come in once it got really bad. That would be why she didn't want me along, of course. Even so, I can't help but wanting to know where she is. Well, nothing for it. I better stretch and run and hope that Emmy shows up with a grin and an excuse. On my cooldown lap, I'm forced to admit that Emmy isn't showing up. Furthermore, I have no idea where she is. Anxiety gnaws at me while at the same time I just wonder why I'm so worried over her. 'Cause you like her. The run helped to take my mind off it for a little while, but now that I'm finished, I'm back to worrying. It was weird not having her here. Downright unnerving. It suddenly dawns on me that I've been running to hang out with Emmy as much as I've been running to stay healthy. Probably more to be with Emmy now that I think of it. It's one of those things that are completely obvious, yet somehow I never realized it. She is really someone I enjoy being with. As revelations go, it's hardly world-shaking. All the time, I feel myself slightly shocked. When did this happen? Well, no time to think about this. Though I want to ponder this new development, I have a greater desire to find out what's happened to Emmy. I'll ask the nurse when I stop in to see him. Moments later, at the nurse's office. Well, you seem to be in good shape, Asao. That's good to hear. I replaced my shirt and stand to leave as usual. Except instead of leaving, I ask a question. Yo, where the hell Emmy? She didn't show up this morning. Is she okay? While I try violently to conceal the anxiety in my voice, the nurse's expression suggests that I failed miserably. You mean she didn't tell you? She's sick in bed. What? Sick? The nurse shrugs. Yeah, she came to my office early this morning with a fever. To be honest, I'm surprised she made it here. She was burning up when she arrived. At least she planned to let you know, but she asked me to tell you. Ah, shoot. The nurse gives me a sheepish smile that seems at least partially sincere. And I told her I'd stop by the track to let you know in case she forgot to. Sorry about that. But we don't need to tell Emmy I forgot, right? I returned the nurse's smile with a devious one of my own. Oh, of course not. This is fine blackmail material. I'll save it for whenever I need a favor from you. The nurse laughs. Well, I guess I deserve that. But you know, I got tons of blackmail on you that you're not even aware of. So don't push your luck, okay? My expression earns another laugh from the nurse. I'm just kidding, Asao. But seriously, don't tell Emmy I forgot, okay? Your secret is safe with me. Oh, good. Now go on, get out of here. Wait, I got one more question. Shoot. Is she gonna be okay? Oh, yeah, definitely. Her fever was high, but it was already starting to go down by the time she came by my office. I'll probably check up on her again at lunch to be sure, but I expect she'll be up and about by the evening no matter what I tell her. Maybe I should visit her after class. It takes me a second to realize I've spoken aloud. The nurse raises an eyebrow and gives me a searching glance for a moment. Well, it might not be a bad idea. You could let me know if she'd taken a turn for the worse, I guess. But no funny business, you got it? I know what meds you're on, after all. She's sick! That's a disgusting implication! I think that's a threat against my life, but I'm not sure. Seriously, what the heck in heck? There will be no business of the funny sort. Seriously, I've been doing this for almost 10 years. Have I ever been funny? I don't think so. Either way, I assure the nurse that my intentions are chaste and exit the office. Interesting that the nurse sees me as some sort of potential suitor for Emmy. Even more interesting is how pleased that makes me feel. I need a shower. The lunch bell rings and I find myself disinclined to make my way up to the roof. After all, I'm betting Rin knows where Emmy is, and if that's the case, then I doubt she's going to bother even being up there. More to the point, I doubt we'd have any sort of scintillating conversation if she did. Chances are she'd prefer to be alone up there anyway, so don't actually ruin her train of thought or something. Unfortunately, I don't feel like heading to the cafeteria either. Guess I'll go to the library instead. Need a new book to read anyway, having finished my other one yesterday before bed. Maybe I can find more by the same author. This R.L. Stein is a very, very competent writer. I love libraries, because I'm a big nerd! They smell like dust and paper and ink. All these stories and facts and opinions crowded together in one place makes the air come alive with potential. I'm not sure how to navigate Yamaku's library yet. having mostly stuck to books I brought with me, so I searched for the librarian to ask for help. I suppose she's not around. Okay, never mind. Can't believe it. Yuko, looking rather distracted, suddenly emerges from one of the aisles, as she's known to do. Excuse me. Oh, can I help you? Actually, I was looking for a buak. So am I. Advanced cryptography, which you just got it in, and now it's gone missing. I really, really wanted to read that one. Cryptography? Yeah, that is, this guy I knew. No, not sure how to describe it. Skip to the end. He got me interested in cryptography, only now the book is gone and I think it's been stolen. Sounds pretty terrible. Yeah, especially because now I have to search the whole library for it, even though it's probably not even here. You seem busy. A little. She dashes off another aisle and I resign myself to finding my own damn book. But will I be able to eat my own damn pancakes? And will anybody get that reference? Honestly, it'd be weird if they did, except for the one person that I know that will. Also, it's interesting that he didn't seem to remember that he definitely saw that book before. Oh, well. Oh, come on. How did I get lost? These aren't even printed books. They're all in Braille. Guess that makes sense at a school like this, but honestly, it's a little annoying. I'm sorry, is someone there? Lily, you're alive? A living voice drifts off behind one of the cubicles set up for research. As I approach, I see Lily's been reading a book while I've been stomping about the aisles. Oh no, I should be apologizing. I didn't mean to make so much noise. Why, is that you, Hisao? I've not heard from you in quite some time. I was beginning to think you'd forgotten all about me, and I was beginning to think that the game forgot all about you. Sorry. Lily laughs in that refined manner of hers and shakes her head. I'm only teasing you, Hisao. From what I hear, you've been busy. Morning runs with Emi Ibarazaki and lunch on the rooftop, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Guess word gets around pretty quickly. That and I can't coax poor Hanako on the roof anymore. You three are always up there claiming the spot for yourselves. She chides me gently, though it's pretty clear she's just teasing me again. Still, I feel an odd need to apologize. Sorry, we could eat lunch somewhere else if it's a real problem. No, I wouldn't worry about it. Hanako and I have other things to do at lunch too, such as read in the library, as you can see. Oh, Hanako's here too? I didn't even see her. Lily smiles a bit enigmatically. Oh, she's around somewhere. But I'm surprised, Hisao. You're in here instead of up there. What brings you to the library? Well, Emmy's ill, so there's no lunch on the rooftop to keep me occupied. Lily raises an eyebrow at my statement before giving another chuckle. My poor Rin must feel left out. It's not like that. But I'm sure it isn't. Emmy tends to be the life of whatever group she's in. It's a shame to hear she's fallen ill. Will she be okay? Some might get the feeling that Lily's just inquiring out of politeness, but I respond anyway. The nurse thinks so. I'm gonna swing by and see how she's doing after school myself. Another raised eyebrow. My, what a noble gentleman you are, Hisao. It's nothing, really. Just checking up on my friend, after all. Ah, so it's just friends, is it? How disappointing. I blush, glad that Lily can't see it. But somehow she knows that I've been flustered by her comment anyway and laughs. I'm sorry, Hisao. I'm teasing you again. Please do tell Emmy that I hope she feels better, won't you? I glance at my watch, reveals that I'm very nearly out of time to find my book. Of course. Hey, I gotta find my book before lunch is over, so I'd better get moving. See you later. That was probably not the best phrase to use. Lily, however, takes my gaffe in stride. Until we meet again, Hisao. I mean, you will see her later, so in a way, it's not incorrect. I never do find the book I was looking for, but I walk out with something else instead. My stomach growls slightly, letting me know that I should have had something for lunch. Oh well, it be what it be. I'll grab something before I visit Emmy later. It seems as if time has decided to slow down for the express purpose of annoying the hell out of me, as it's known to do. Class feels like it drags on for ages. I suspect that my being consumed with worry probably has something to do with it. Blessedly, the bell rings and I dash out of class, drawing a few raised eyebrows, I'm sure. I had spent the majority of the day fretting as unobtrusively as I could. Even though the nurse thinks Emmy is perfectly okay, I want to see for myself. He likes her. It's so cute. It doesn't take long to get to the girls' dormitory and make my way to Emmy's room. Sitting outside her door, I suddenly pause. What if she's resting? I need to wake her up, especially if she's feeling ill. Then again, if she sleeps all day, then it could throw off her sleeping schedule. But rest is important if you're ill, isn't it? Oh man, he is hyper-analyzing this thing. I can't decide what to do. So I settle for standing outside the door looking like an idiot. Then I hear Emmy's voice from behind the door. Thanks for your concern, but I really am okay. Is she talking to me? I'll see you at practice tomorrow. Guess not. Still clearly not, she's not asleep, so I can knock without worry. So why this clenched feeling in my gut? I wasn't nervous about dropping by the other day, so why today? Granted, I still haven't really had time to figure out this newfound interest in Emmy's well-being. Dude, you freaking love her. Get into it, man. Ah. I don't have a lot of experience in the matter, of course, but certainly this seems to go beyond feelings of mere friendship. But could I take that step? Could I even bring myself to risk what I have right now? I mean, it's enough to be friends with her, isn't it? That's always the mindset that I've always had whenever I've had a female friend. Either way, shouldn't I just open the door and see how she's doing? And I mean that sincerely. Like, obviously, I'm totally happy to just be pals. I like being friends with people. It's nice. Either way, shouldn't I just open the door and see how she's doing? That's why I came here, right? What if she's not dressed yet? The image that flashed through my mind causes my heart to skip a beat. Literally. I should probably not ever think those thoughts again. Not if I want to avoid a heart attack. Suddenly realize I'm still standing in the hallway looking like an idiot. Amy still seems to be in the middle of a conversation, but I knock anyway. Hopefully she won't mind the interruption. You worry too much. Come in, the door's unlocked. So it is. I open the door and step in, which is about where my thought process comes to a grinding halt. Aww, adorable! Her hair's down. Emmy is sitting up in bed, her hair tousled from a day spent asleep. I think this is the first time I've seen her without those famous beads in her hair. Her gym shirt and bloomers obviously hastily pulled on before I came in, are creased and folded from less than proper storage. That's the second time in my career that that's happened. Sigh. Oh my. Her legs lay bare on the sheets. Never seen Emmy without prosthetics before. And here she is, slender legs terminating in stumps just below her knees. But as odd as the sight is, I find myself more captivated by everything north of the waist. It seems that Emmy finished her conversation with whoever was on the phone with her, and is now watching my reaction closely out of her one open eye as she wipes sleep from the other. Her expression, far from being embarrassed, is rather one of a surprisingly wide yawn, perhaps appropriate for such a small mouth. A grin that for a brief moment seems almost flirtatious tugs at the corner of her mouth as she takes in the sight of me in. I can do nothing but remain in a state of fluctuating between fear, confusion, and a little bit of lust. All right, then. Emmy hastily sweeps her hair out of her eyes, fixing it back into place before addressing me. You seem a bit caught off guard, Hisao. A wave of laughter erupts from her. I find myself grinning and rubbing the back of my head ruefully. Sorry, I've just never seen Sun so disheveled look so attractive. Damn! Never seen you without your legs on. Never seen you look so... sorry. Emmy giggles again and moves to sit up a little straighter. I've caught up in the movements of her shirt, very nearly losing myself. I was wondering what your reaction would be. The nurse called and told me you were going to drop by, you see. And I know you haven't seen me, well, you know, without legs. I responded in a tone of casual surprise. Oh, you don't have them on? I didn't notice. This is almost the truth. I very nearly didn't. He was looking at everything else. I'm not trying to be suave or anything, mind you. Somehow I think Emmy would get offended by that. Instead, she sticks her tongue out at me and chucks a pillow at my head. Ass. I deftly catch the pillow and take careful aim before throwing. Emmy laughs and rolls to one side, dodging my shot, the shifting of her shirt distracting me enough so that the next throw hits me right between the eyes. Ah! I retaliate, of course. Once I've retaliated twice, well, a war was bound to break out sooner or later. And really, when Emmy appears to have far better aim than me, well, it's just a matter of time before I have to resort to a suicidal charge. Gotcha! Eep! Bam! Oh, automatopoeia! Biff! We are Adam Westing it up! And once the charge was accomplished, well, of course, I'd have to wrestle the pillows away from her. And with that kind of struggle, of course, we'd wind up in this sort of position. Uh-oh. And so I find myself staring down at her from my position atop her. She's grinning, eyes sparkling with amusement, maybe a little sweaty now from our tussle. Her chest is heaving up and down, sucking in air, as I fight all of my base instincts to flee the situation, and I'm not talking about the character! Woo! The small bit of my brain that is not currently enraptured by the sight and the smell of her observes that she must still be ill, because her stamina is not what it should be. We stay that way for a while. I'm not sure how long, because everything seems to go fuzzy. Everything that isn't her, anyway. Her eyes meet mine, and deep inside them, I almost glimpse a glimpse of, what, fear? Longing? Hope? Emmy? A cough suddenly convulses her, and I'm almost stumbling in my haste to get off to apologize for everything. Sorry, I shouldn't have. It's fine, it's fine. She gives me a reassuring pat on the shoulder. So, what brings you here? She's still breathing hard, and that causes her voice to shake slightly. Well, before I was so rudely assaulted by pillows, she's very cute, by the way. I came to see how you were doing. Wham! This earns me another shove, and I nearly fall off her bed. Emmy's eyes sparkle again, and I wonder how I never noticed how attractive they are before. Consumed with worry, were you? Her tone is mocking, haughty, teasing. She throws her arm across her forehead dramatically, grin still apparent from underneath. Couldn't bear the thought of me laying deathly ill. As we both recover from our brief wrestling match, Emmy appears to fall back on teasing me. Well, I wouldn't say consumed with worry, but after you didn't show up this morning like a total wuss. Emmy pouts, crossing her arms petulantly and sticking her lower lip out. It's not my fault. Nurse wouldn't allow it. Sure he wouldn't. I completely believe you. Emmy sticks her tongue out again. You're such a jerk, Hisao. So how was your day then, eh? Did you enjoy slacking off? Not really. The phone woke me up pretty early on. The phone? Yeah, the captain of the team called to make sure I was doing okay. Also to let me know it was okay to skip practice. Good. At least she wasn't alone all day. Someone checked up on her. Well, I can't help but think that it should have been me. Oh, that's good. He really keeps an eye on you, huh? He's not jealous at all. Emmy shrugs. It's his job. Part of being the captain means you know where your team members are when they're not in school. Still, I guess it was nice of him to call, huh? Yep, sure was. Emmy yawns and shimmies down the drain pipe, into a more comfortable position. So, how was your day? Kind of uneventful, you know. I went ahead and ran by myself and talked with the nurse about how you were doing. I then recounted my day to her. I meander through the day's events, none of which are particularly engrossing. That's why I'm distracted by an arm finding its way across my waist. Seems that Emmy fell asleep while I was talking, so I jar a blanket to cover us. Oh my good golly gosh. She rolled over on her side, and now one leg is thrown over my legs, effectively trapping me. I don't think you're as trapped as you say you are. I think you're just okay with the situation. Understandably so. Hey, seems a shame to wake her, but I have things to do. I gently shake her, but in response, she's only tightening her arm's grip on me and sighs a little. My resistance to this position crumbles rather quickly. The feeling of her body breathing steadily is both calming and incredibly stimulating at the same time. My breathing cannot decide if it wants to relax or speed up. Relaxation wins, and I find myself putting an arm around Emmy. I think I'm in love. The words slip out and hang in the air unnoticed. At least I hope they've gone unnoticed. Emmy whispers weakly through her dream, and her grip suddenly tightens again. For the first time since I've known her, I see tears running down Emmy's face. Feels like my heart is about to break. I instinctively tighten my own grip and stroke her hair in what I hope is a soothing manner. Words of comfort, meaningless in this situation, spring to mind. Maybe I should wake her. Are you supposed to wake people having nightmares? I can't for the life of me remember. The decision is taken from me as Emmy suddenly jerks awake with a cry. Dad. This is more than I think I want to hear without her knowing. Oh, I guess I quickly sit upright and gently shake her shoulder to stir her. Hey, you okay? What a silly question. Huh? What? Hisao? She shakes her head as if to clear it and quickly wipes her eyes. You had a nightmare, I think. Emmy shudders again and glances up at me a little cautiously, as if unsure whether or not she's actually up. Yeah, I guess so. Want to talk about it? A speedy internal debate seems to be going on in her head, which resolves itself with a shrug. Nah, I don't really remember much of it. I'm pretty sure she's lying to me, but somehow I don't think I should press the issue. Yeah, no, that's called having tact. Emmy shudders again and turns toward me, looking a little sheepish. Sorry for falling asleep on you like that. He did not mind! I keep my voice as soothing as I can. Don't worry about it, you've been ill. Yeah, I guess that cold medicine's just making me a little drowsy. I guess so. Emmy does not strike me as the sort of person who'd fall asleep at the drop of a hat. Rin maybe, but Emmy's far too energetic. Emmy gives a half smile at my response, and then just like that, she's back to her old self. Well, prepare yourself for tomorrow morning, Hisao. We'll have to go twice as hard to make up for today. But I went running this morning. No excuse. Oh, fine, I'll be ready for you. Emmy nods, satisfied. Good. I take this as my cue to exit. Well, I'd better get going, especially if you want to get enough sleep for tomorrow. I hop off the bed and head for the door. Hey, Hisao. Eh? I pivot neatly on my heel and face Emmy. She opened her mouth to say something, and then in another first, I see her falter slightly. She closes her mouth and opens it again. Thanks. For dropping by, I mean. You're kind of the first visitor I've ever had who wasn't Rin. Now, that's surprising. Would have figured that Emmy'd been having people dropping by all the time. Certainly popular enough, or so I thought. Always talking to people in the hallways. Emmy hesitates again. And thanks for staying around after well, a look of pain flits across her face. You know. It helped. She brightened back up and waves cheerily at me. See you tomorrow. Yeah, see you later. I'm just about to exit the door when something makes me turn around again. Hey, Emmy? Anytime you need to talk, let me know, okay? Emmy seems taken aback by this offer. Her grin gets even wider. Sure thing, Hisao. See you in the morning. I exit Emmy's room with my head in a whirl. Should I have even left? Was she really okay? I want to turn around and march back down the hallway, open the door, and tell her. Tell her that I love her, tell her I think she's beautiful, tell her that I'll be there when she needs me. I want to stay with her, to hold her close as she falls back to sleep. How many nights has she woken up like that? Only to find that nobody's there? I want to be the person that she can be when that happens. It's a silly thought, I know. We don't know each other that well, do we? The whole idea, while exhilarating, also makes me feel worry. Worry perhaps that I'd overstepped my bounds. And now, to add to my troubles, it seems as if Emmy herself already has an interest in someone else. That track captain of hers seems so interested in her well-being. True, I've only seen the two of them together a few times, but that doesn't change the fact that they seem better suited to one another. Really nothing to be done about that. I need to take my mind off this whole situation. I got homework to do. Maybe that'll distract me. Dare to dream. Dare to dream. And after that experience, I imagine he's going to be dreaming of a lot of things. Hey-oh!